First and foremost, let's get to it. I need y'all to subscribe, share, comment. I touch on this topic from time to time throughout the years of doing Black History, so this is my first time really like putting it on the scale like this. So I'm gonna share with YouTube. Give me a minutes of your time, and it's gonna be worth your while. But I got this. I got this particular knowledge from Africa when I got a lot of stuff there, you know what I'm saying? But this was one of them that I did pick up and I retained really easily. You know what I'm saying? There was so much to, you know what I mean, to grasp and remember. But this one, as it relates to us in America, people wonder how we got names and how things come about. So that's just what I really want to touch on. From the descendants of slaves born in America, the ancestral lineage came through the Atlantic slave trade. A lot of us don't talk about this, but a lot of our history, some of our history is here, but a lot of our history is over there. Over there meaning in Africa, the different, whether it's the Port of Goa, if it's through the slave through Atlantic specific slave trade. So a lot of information, but a lot of it is over there too. So this straight from the source. This ain't no Google research. Me going into the slave library in South Africa and just what I'm saying, learning that this is how it works. This is why it's like that. Just to catch y'all up to speed. Um, you know, the information is so particular and it's so critical that when you go into this library, which is supposed to be for educational purposes, you can't export no information out of there. You can't even have phones in there. You can't have cameras. You can't have phones past a certain point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this is really interesting. But our history, like the people from here, and there's people always say, well, y'all ain't from Africa, and you know what I mean? Well, everybody ain't from Africa. Well, obviously somebody, people there is not letting me export information. You know what I mean? So, what said, what I can remember, what I retain, our information, black people born in America, our information is guarded with AK-47, books big with names and, the records, they say it's on the books, but the records, big books of names like this for black people. This ain't just people in Africa. They know who they is. They the people living to hundreds and hundreds out here, the people that were sold, because it's on the books. So I'll give you an example. I'll give y'all an example. Make sure y'all comment and share, but if it's information there, but I'll give you an example. Like if you know somebody named June, it's a good chance that they was sold in June. These how they came up. If you know somebody named April, a girl, usually her people were sold in April. You know what I mean? April, that I remember. That's why the name. They didn't know what to call him, so they just called him April. When they brought him here, what's the name? June. That's the bill of sale. June, April, May. You know what I mean? These are common black names. So when you hear these stuff, you can trace it back. You might can't trace it here, but in the slave libraries, and y'all can Google YouTube South Africa, the slave libraries. They got books, man. They got books this big with names, and that's how the Social Security number. You know how when people come over here, they like fresh off the boat, they got the number with the da da da. That was created so many black people that they wanted to start taxing it. That's how the tax code came up. You know what I'm saying? And we even got it in America. They just a little. It's it's not the same, but it's the same. It's from the same system. It's from the same origin. So this is how the name Junebug. Yeah, you sold in June. Hey, June, May, April. Even my last name, the origins of my last name is dealing with. It's a famous branding company called Molten Brass, like that. Like the people that like brass, brown people, we brown. My name is my origins of my last name is Brown. So even with the presidents, like the first 15, all the presidents on the dollar bills were slave owners. So Johnson is a name in America, like John and Johnson. They, that tells you the direct link to slave trade and names. So Carter, owned by the president Carter, boom. That's why the Carters are so big. Even in sports, Carter. Some of the first people that had big families here. You know what I'm saying? Johnson, That's another big name that you can directly just trace right back to slavery because there's so many Johnsons. Johnson, Carter, Jones, um, you know what I'm saying? If you could trace direct, them names easy. Like them just the common ones we hear every day. But once you start to know that, you know, like, oh, these people they had money in the slave trade. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's really a game of last name. You know, if you ever meet people that's not black or African, they so intrigued with the last name because the last name, this country is kind of built off the last name. You know, they tell you work for your last name and not your first. So even all the brands we wear, you know what I'm saying? Versace, Armani, whatever we wear, Jordan, Nike, whatever, Phil Knight, whatever. It's the last name that holds the most weight. So it is important. Yeah, I don't think a lot of us even. I think we lost sense of touch as black people with black pride in the names, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to give y'all the origins of the names and how they came about. If you lost, hopefully the compass, you take a little bit more consideration to, hey, this is the last name. How this came about. Maybe dude was right, but it's just a start. You don't have to pay. You don't have to spend the money to go to South Africa. I just told you, but it is something called slave life. If you do got the money and get a chance, go visit South Africa, Cape Town to be specific, you know what I'm saying? That's where the slave library is at, Cape Town, South Africa, slave library. You can't even take information in and out. It's guarded with AK-47s. Like I tried to like record and cameras in the floor, cameras in the ceiling, cameras in this, cameras everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the most secure places I ever been in my life, and it's Black history. Like, you know what I mean? Crazy, but that's how the names give you like an idea, kind of like how some of our names, not our ancestral real names, but the American names when we got here. So that's why the ship is called the Mayflower. You know what I'm saying? It came in May. You know what I'm saying? The first one of the first slaves to come to America is Jesus. It's called Jesus. You know the names, the origins. You can can help you navigate that system or get a better understanding of who you are and who you need to become and you need to drop that name. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? But thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if it was helpful information. I got a ton of history, but if it was helpful, if I get a couple people heart, thumbs up, emojis, whatever, I'm gonna keep an eye to another one, and I try to keep them coming daily. I got other videos on my page like this, on my shorts, and I got some on my videos. But it ain't about me. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all.